As parts of Gaza experience famine, some extremists are increasing their attacks on aid trucks bound for the territory. Imtiaz Tyab reports from Tel Aviv, and we want to warn you that some of the images are disturbing.
Well, just this week, the UN reiterated its deep concern that children in Gaza are starving amid what it described as persistent obstacles to accessing humanitarian aid. Now, those obstacles are complex and layered, much of it being blamed on Israel's own policies, with aid organizations complaining of, quote, routine and arbitrary restrictions on legitimate humanitarian goods from entering Gaza, to a phenomenon in recent months which has seen grassroots groups, mainly from the far right, attempting to block aid trucks from entering the Palestinian territory themselves, and even at times destroying the humanitarian goods. They're images that have enraged and horrified Jewish settlers and right-wing extremists throwing aid destined for Gaza to the ground. This was not a one-off. For months, videos have emerged showing aid convoys for Gaza being blocked or vandalized by settlers and far-right Israeli activists, in attacks condemned by the White House.
It is a total outrage that there are people who are attacking and looting these convoys coming from Jordan, going to Gaza to deliver humanitarian assistance.
There have also been assaults. Palestinian truck driver Mohsen Shaheen can be seen in this video lying bloodied on the ground next to his truck after he says he was beaten by a group of settlers who had wrongly assumed he was hauling aid to Gaza. The window to my truck was open and a settler came in and sprayed me with pepper spray, he says. Then there was a rock or iron bar smashing through the window. It hit me in the face. Blood was everywhere. I thought I was going to die. During the assault, the Israeli soldiers seen in the video just stood by, Mohsen says. Not only are Israeli troops and police accused of not preventing attacks on aid convoys for Gaza, there are also allegations that some tip off extremist groups. CBS News gained access to a WhatsApp forum used by one such group called We Won't Forget. It cataloged in detail how many trucks would be in a convoy, what routes they would travel on, and the crossings they moved through on any given day. In this message, members were told explicitly how the information was obtained. It read, methods for blocking acts. We get preliminary info from border crossing workers, police, and soldiers. Another message mentions Bezalel Smotrich, Israel's ultra-nationalist finance minister. For those who asked, the following information came from Minister Smotrich, who wrote to the Prime Minister and asked him how come he approved aid to Gaza. Smotrich, who has major influence with Israel's far right, used his position to block a U.S.-funded flour shipment to Gaza in February, after making the baseless claim that because the flour was being transferred to the UN, it would then be handed to Hamas. Withholding aid from Gaza is not an entirely fringe view. A recent poll found 44% of Israelis believed Israel should make aid conditional on a hostage release deal, and 22% do not want to provide any aid until the war has ended. Youssef Debrezer not only doesn't want aid to get to Gaza, he's also a key organizer behind the blockade movement. The 23-year-old says he's been detained 12 times for obstructing supplies to Gaza, but so far has yet to be charged.
To be clear, though, what you're saying is that you've seen some soldiers and police officers who are supportive of what you're doing.
Of course, he says. I believe most of the country thinks we should not send aid.
Still, whatever your protest is, to deprive a starving civilian population from food, people do think is wrong. Why don't you?
In every war, there is someone who loses and someone who wins. Either the people in Gaza will die, either the people in Israel will die, he says. It's black and white. After nearly 9 months of devastating violence and destruction, there's still barely any aid reaching desperate Palestinians in Gaza. And while the settlers and activist groups' attempts at blocking supplies have only had a limited impact, the real obstruction comes from the Israeli government itself. Multiple aid agencies say Israel routinely and arbitrarily denies legitimate humanitarian goods from entering Gaza through a highly complicated inspection and approval process without clear or consistent instructions. The UN says 1.1 million people, nearly half the population of Gaza, now face catastrophic levels of hunger and that the territory is on the brink of famine. For Shaheen, he hasn't been able to work since he was attacked, nor does he think he'll receive any justice.
So you believe that these Jewish extremist settlers are effectively above the law?
If the soldier is standing there watching the settler attacking me, attacking my truck, and then beating me, he says, then finally they help me? Why don't they stop them from the beginning?
Do you believe that any of the men who attacked you, who are clearly identifiable in the videos we've seen of the assault on you, will ever face justice?
I don't expect justice, he says. The whole world sees that there is no justice.
And CBS News reached out to Israel's security forces for a comment on the allegations members of their forces were tipping off far-right groups who were blocking aid or not intervening when convoys were attacked. Now, the IDF directed us to the police, who in a statement said that, and I'm quoting here, to the best of its knowledge, the claims were baseless and unfounded rumors.